I'm going to pull on another thread that you mentioned. You mentioned, technology. A lot of the entrepreneurs that we have on, we ask them like, "Hey, how is artificial intelligence? How is today's economic landscape? How is it influencing your business? Like, what do you see the future looking like?" So, kind of curious to look at that from a real estate development lens.
Boy, that's been a hot topic lately, especially I feel like in the last couple of months since Claude came out and Perplexity and ChatGPT was like the big thing, and now it's like antiquated to some extent. And I'm a big user of AI. I mean, I've built dashboards to help keep track of things, and I see so many use cases within our business just here, but also in the industry. And so I'm all in, and we're trying to figure out, who do we hire that can help implement a lot of this. So if anyone's listening and they have AI automation skills, um, and they just want to have a place to nerd out and create some workflows and really build some cool stuff, like we're hiring. So uh, contact me. But um, yeah, I think that now's the time to get involved. I think that our industry historically has always been behind the curve when it comes to technology. And there's always a joke that like brokers are super old school, some of them still fax, and so I think there's an opportunity to get ahead of the curve before it really hits us. But it's a tough balance, It's like people are worried about, is it going to take my job, or is it, what are the safety concerns? What about confidential information? How do you implement it across the company? It's one thing to have, somebody using, Claude on their desktop and doing some, you know, helping with their workflow, but like, how do you roll that out across a company, right? So there's a lot to figure out. It's complicated, but it's not going anywhere. So whether you like it or not, you got to get on board.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Are there specific segments of commercial real estate that you're focusing more on, and certain segments that you've decided to stay away from because of some of these considerations?
I mean, there's so much opportunity for improvement. Even just workflows within our company of like a broker gets a listing, then what are the next steps? And a lot of that's not still manual, and it's not efficient. And so there's a lot of opportunities to increase efficiencies there. Lead generation, marketing, um, even on the construction side, like to those of you, probably a lot of people don't know what preliminary lien notices are, but when you start construction, you get a lot of these, and in theory, should keep track of them and then match them up with the payments. But they get mailed to you because they get mailed via certified mail, and so it's like, we created a function where we can just now scan them, and it tracks them, puts the expiration date, and we can match them up with when we make a payment to make sure that we get the lien release that goes along with it. Like, I mean, that's just like something simple that was created, in a couple of hours, but there's endless use cases for it. I don't think there's anything that I would shy away from right now, except for just being really cognizant of using, clients' information, because it's out in the ether at that point. Everyone's, so, you just got to be really careful with some of that stuff. But